So yesterday, I did something that I really, really love to do. I went to my local library. And here's the thing. I think I mentioned this on the stream. I live in Pasadena, and I was a member of just the Los Angeles library system. So I would just go to the LA library, because prior to living in Pasadena, I lived in a different neighborhood called Silver Lake. And it just never dawned on me that I had a local Pasadena library. I would always just go into LA, which is only like 15, 20 minutes away. But I would just go into LA to use the library. And it never hit me that it's like, wait a second, I have a library within walking distance that I can go to. So I got stoked when I realized that, and I joined the local library. And yesterday, I wanted to get a book because I just finished my book that I was working on. I'm always working on something. And I just finished my last book, which the last book I read was Peter Douche's book, An Inconvenient Douche, by Twitter sensation Peter Douche. Very funny read. I really enjoyed it a lot. And I decided it was time for, I needed to get something else. And so I went to the library. First I went to reserve it on the system. And then I realized the library was still open for an hour and a half. So I just walked to the library and I got my book. And so I guess my question is, who still uses their local libraries? I'm one of those people. I still use mine all the frickin' time. I would drive further than I realized I had to when I didn't realize I didn't have to do that. And yeah, I still use my library all the time. And I feel like that's more rare than maybe I realize. Because I know a lot of people, they don't use their library. They don't have a library card. And, man, I feel like you're really missing out. Libraries are... I used to move around a lot. I still do, I guess. But the first thing I would do in a new community when I would move there is I would get a library card. That would be my first thing. I would get my library card. Usually because I would have to print something at some point, and it was cheapest to do it at the library. But I also just wanted to have that point of reference. Like, that was kind of like the center, So, and I guess walking back from the library, I realized just how amazing they are and how great they are. And what I did was I found the book on my own. Like, I didn't just ask the person to get it for me. Like, I looked up the card number and I figured out where the sections were. And I found it on my own because I was like, I need to familiarize myself with this library. Even though it's been here, it's still a new library to me because I was going into, Los Angeles instead of just using the library literally within walking distance from me. So I forced myself to learn the library. So let me see what you guys are saying. Chris says, libraries are fantastic even though I don't use them much. The Indianapolis one has a 3D printer. That's pretty badass. Steve grew up in public libraries. Gotta admit, I haven't spent as much time there as I should in recent years. I can't find enough books on socialism at the library, then request them. You might hate snow. I do. But living in Florida and literally having only 1.5 seasons kills your soul. It's almost 86 here, and I complain about the damn sun constantly. I hate it. Meteorologist Mike, maybe that's because you're a meteorologist and you need variations in the weather because you're a meteorologist. I am not a meteorologist. The one season we have in Southern California suits me just fine. I like the fact that it's sunny all the time. I wouldn't change it for anything. I wish we got a little more rain, but outside of that, I have no complaints. I do not miss winter at all, not even a little bit. I'd be happy if I never saw another snowflake again in my life. I'm not saying I don't want it to happen. I do, because we need it, but you get my point. I despise winter. I never want to live in a place that has it ever again, and I hope I don't. But if I were a meteorologist, I'd probably want a little bit of variety. So I feel your pain, but I can't relate firsthand to it. I do not miss seasons at all. The only season I like is summer. Well, I like 2 seasons, summer and fall. And usually I get to travel to fall when it's happening, so I get to experience it. And then I come back to sunny California, where we have 2 seasons, jacket season and not jacket season. I like them both. Boom. Yeah. Jordan says he drove 6 hours to a concert in the snow yesterday and could do without winter. Yeah. I mean, I get it, seasons are important. I'm just saying my personal take as far as enjoyment goes.
Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Get your news on with Ron. Don't you want to know what's going on? We're getting our news on today. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You can tweet me an article at Ron Placone. We'll go through it together and make it our own. Get your news